Hello family, enjoy this relaxing moment with AfriTales 38. Remember to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comment section and generously hit the like button because it means a lot to us. Please relax and enjoy as we dive in the story. When the drums stopped beating. In the quiet village of Amibo, life moved to the rhythm of drums and the laughter of children. Goats bleated in the fields. Smoke rose gently from clay kitchens. The river sang softly as women washed clothes by its edge. But then, the drum stopped. At first, it was only silence. Then whispers. Then fear. A lion, someone said. It came down from the forest. It's hunting near the farms. Someone heard it roar near the stream. The forest had always been close to Amibo, but never this close. The villagers respected the trees, the spirits, the animals. There was a line, and nature never crossed it. Until now. That night, Obinna and Ediore sat quietly in their small home. Married just over a year, they were still learning each other's rhythms. Obinna was a simple farmer, strong and gentle. Ediore, a village seamstress, was thoughtful, quiet, and bold in spirit. "We'll be fine," Obinna said, pouring water into a clay cup. "Lions don't come to people. They fear fire. They fear sound." Ediore nodded, but her eyes told a different story. She had heard tales, stories from old women who spoke of spirits in lion form, of curses and tests from the gods. That night, she didn't sleep well. Far off, in the middle of the night, something roared, deep, low, powerful. It was not a tale. It was real. The lion had come. 2 hearts, 1 home. Obinna and Ediore lived in a one-room hut on the edge of the village, closest to the forest. Their land was poor, rocky, and dry, but Obinna walked it with hope. He believed in patience and hands that didn't quit. They had no children yet, but they had dreams, small ones. A bigger farm. A better roof. Maybe even a sewing machine for Ediore. Despite poverty, they loved simply and deeply. Obinna would sometimes surprise Ediore with wildflowers or roasted plantain. She would cook his favorite okra soup when he came home exhausted. But in recent weeks, fear had started to settle in the village. The lion was seen by a hunter, then by a young boy fetching firewood. Animals went missing. Goats. Dogs. Even chickens. The elders gathered. "What should we do?" one asked. "Set traps," another said. "No, call the forest priest." But no one moved. Fear had made them still. Obinna, restless, decided to act. "I'll gather wood," he said one morning. "We need firewood for the week, and the villagers are too afraid to go near the forest." But Obinna, Ediore started. "I'll be careful. I'll stay close to the edge." She didn't argue. She only watched as he packed his axe and rope and stepped into the early morning sun. That was the last time she saw him that day. Vanished into the trees. Evening came. The sun dipped. The shadows grew longer. No sign of Obinna. At first, Ediore tried not to panic. Maybe he met someone. Maybe he stopped to help. Maybe. But when darkness covered the sky and he still hadn't returned, she knew something was wrong. She went to the village square. "Has anyone seen my husband?" she asked. The old man looked up with tired eyes. A boy shook his head. "The lion must have caught him," someone whispered. "No," Ediore shouted. "He's smart. He wouldn't go too deep." "You think the lion respects your love?" another voice snapped. "He should not have gone. That forest belongs to death now." But Ediore didn't listen. She ran home, grabbed a long stick, wrapped a cloth around it, and lit it. She wore her wrapper tight around her waist and took nothing else. "I'm going to find him," she said to the wind. Into the forest alone. The forest was darker than Ediore remembered. The moonlight barely reached through the thick leaves. Every branch creaked. Every shadow moved. But she kept walking. "Obinna," she called, softly at first. Then louder. Obinna. There was no answer. Only the night. She followed signs, a broken branch here, a faint footprint there. Her heart pounded. Her eyes watered, but she didn't stop. Then she heard it, a sound, not far off. A growl. Low. Deep. Heavy. She crept closer. And there it was, the lion. It stood tall and proud, eyes glowing like burning coal. And behind it, lying on the ground, was Obinna, still alive, but wounded, unmoving. Adeora's heart stopped. But she didn't scream. She didn't run. She stared at the lion. It stared back. Then, Adeora did something unthinkable. She dropped her stick. She dropped her torch. And she began to sing. The song that moved the wild. Adeora's voice trembled at first, but she didn't stop. It was an old lullaby, one her grandmother used to sing during storms. A song about peace, calm, and quiet strength. Sleep, my child, the night is deep. The stars above your soul will keep. The lion's ears twitched. It blinked. It didn't growl. It didn't move forward. It just listened. Adeora stepped closer, her voice growing stronger. Fear no wind, fear no flame. Even lions know your name. The beast lowered its head, then, slowly, turned and walked away, melting into the forest like smoke. Adeora rushed to Obinna, dropped to her knees, and held him. I found you, she whispered. I found you. They returned to firelight. Obinna's eyes fluttered open. His voice was weak. Adeora, is it you? Adeora nodded, tears flowing. Yes, it's me. I found you. You'll be okay. He had a deep gash on his leg and several bruises. His axe lay broken nearby, evidence of a struggle. The lion hadn't killed him, but it had hurt him badly. With all her strength, Adeora helped him sit up, then tore her wrapper and tied his wound tightly. She used a broken branch as a walking stick and helped him lean on her. Can you walk? She whispered. I can try, with you, he said. Step by step, the couple made their way back through the forest, guided by moonlight and love. When they reached the edge of the village just before dawn, a small group of villagers stood wide-eyed. Adeora walked straight past them. You said he was gone, she said to no one in particular. But love brought him home. The village that watched and learned. The news spread like wildfire. Obinna survived. Adeora faced the lion. She sang, and the lion walked away. The elders called for a meeting. They asked Adeora to speak. She stood before them, tired, wrapped in a torn cloth, but unshaken. I went because no one else would, she said. I didn't fight the lion with sticks. I fought it with calm. With presence. With courage. A silence fell over the gathering. An old hunter stood. We chased the lion with fire before. We beat drums. We screamed. It only made it wilder. But she sang. Another elder added, maybe we've misunderstood strength all along. Obinna was taken to the healer's hut, where he rested and recovered over several weeks. Adeora stayed beside him, sewing by his bedside, humming that same old lullaby. Villagers began coming to her, not just to praise her, but to learn from her. How she stayed calm. Why she chose to sing. How she knew not to run. Her answer was always the same. Love sees past fear. And where fear stops, love moves forward. The lion that changed everything. Weeks passed. The lion was not seen again. Some said it had returned to the deep forest. Others believed it had only come for a purpose to test the village's courage and unity. Obinna recovered fully. His leg bore a scar, but he could walk again, farm again, and smile again. Together, the couple's life changed. Adeora's tailoring business grew. People came from neighboring villages, not just for clothes, but for advice. A local teacher invited her to speak at the school. You faced a lion, the children gasped. Adeora laughed. Yes. But sometimes, the lion isn't the animal. The lion is fear. And when you face it with your heart instead of your hands, it steps aside. People began calling her Lionheart, a flame that lit other fires. Years passed. Obinna and Adeora's story became a legend. It was told around fires, taught in classrooms, and sung in folk songs. The couple had children, 2 sons and a daughter. They raised them with the same values: bravery, calmness, love. One day, a traveler came to Amibo. He was writing a book on courage and leadership. He met Adeora and asked, "How do you define courage?" She smiled gently and replied, "Courage is not being unafraid. Courage is standing firm when every part of you wants to run." She didn't speak like a hero. She spoke like a woman who had loved deeply, feared deeply, and still chose to act. That, the traveler wrote, was true heroism. A legacy carved in silence. When Adeora and Obinna grew old, their home became a place of stories. Young people came often, not for food or money, but for wisdom. What did the lion look like? Were you really not afraid? Would you do it again? Adeora would sit in her wooden chair, smile, and say, "I was very afraid. But I loved more than I feared. That's what gave me strength." The forest remained. So did the village. But the fear that once ruled Amibo slowly faded, replaced by a quiet boldness. Not all lions were gone, life still threw challenges. Droughts came. Storms hit. People struggled. But now, they remembered the story. The story of a woman who walked into the night with a stick and a song. The story of a couple who held each other up when everyone else gave up. The story of Adeora and Obinna, the couple and the lion. True strength isn't loud. It is calm, steady, and rooted in love. Fear is real, but it doesn't have to be final. Sometimes, courage looks like a song, a quiet step forward, or a refusal to give up. Love, when tested, becomes a fire that lights up the world. Thanks for watching, and please never forget to subscribe and share.